Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the This Ain't No Flophouse podcast. I am Julie Jewelz, and today we have the man, Soulman IT.
You're
I appreciate you, sitting down and hanging out with us on the podcast today.
appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, sir. Um, so tell us where you got the name Soulman IT.
It was a long, age-old, century-old story. Goes back about 1,000 years.
That's about how old you and Jeezy are. Huh?
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. I know you're just coming off of getting sick of me beating you in PUBG, right?
Okay, that now we know that's some lies being spewed into the universe.
Had to stretch out. No. So IT is my initials, Idasa Tarek. So like that's I used to do everything pretty much under my actual name. And then I made a switch kind of like around 2017, 2018 ish, around there. Where I was just like I was going by Idasa the Soul Man Tarek. And basically I just made it the Soul Man IT because no one could say my name. So I had to get on stage and folks just butcher my name unless like you knew me in person, knew me in real life. That got tiring, and I didn't want to go to the Talib Kweli route, which was you gonna remember my name pretty much. It just was didn't work out that way for me. But my pops, when he was alive, he had the joint called the Jazzman at the flea markets, and so I was like, all right, well he's Jazzman, selling the jazz CDs and whatnot. So I'll be Soul Man since I make the hip hop soul beats. So it was like a little combination of both of those, Soul Man and then the initials IT, and because I'm like the technology electronic guy for everybody, so this just the IT thing would stick, and I kind of just do that for work. I'm nowhere IT like average.
Okay. Well, I mean, nobody is. That dude's at another level.
No, facts. He is on another level for sure.
Okay, that's dope though. So for those that don't know, Soul Man is a really dope lyricist. All right. And I have to say lyricist and not rapper because I hold lyricists higher than rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like there's rappers out there and they just, like they got a dope beat that they rap on, whatever. But he's a legit lyricist. Like the dude is dope. So when did you start, when did you start rapping? When did you fall in love with like music and rapping, and who inspired you?
I appreciate that, bro. When I was 13 going on 14, so back in 2001, turned 14, I was 2001. So basically Will Smith was like the first rapper I could listen to in the house and not get in trouble because like cussing and all that. So it was the Millennium on cassette tape. The album Millennium had what's it called? Wild Wild West was on there.
Okay. Yep.
Fresh Prince, not Fresh Prince. Big Willie Styles, the one that had Men in Black on there. But yeah, so that was the first joint I listened to of hip hop, anything, and there was like a growing interest in it. Like in 8th grade, I was doing poetry, and I started dabbling, and I was like, oh, I could do, I might be able to do this, and I wanted to be a spoken word artist, and heard him, and then I listened to also The Last Poets and Gil Scott Heron on the spoken word side, as far as like putting some kind of MCing with beats together. And yeah, that's basically when it started. Then I met my homeboy Owen from Florida. He moved up to Binghamton, New York, where I'm from. We just met in high school, and he was like, "Hold up, how you Muslim and you not know Mos Def and Talib Kweli?" So,
that's a good question.
He put me down with them, and after that, it was just like conscious hip hop, battle rap, dudes with bars, so like Big Pun, Big L, Black Thought,
Those are Cassidy,
Royce 5'9", Cassidy, like just anybody who had bars. And since I'm from like upstate New York, and you get everybody from downstate coming up to upstate, like you could not be a fan of hip hop or conscious hip hop and not like love bars. And then at that
Right.
time, we're all battling and having the most witty, multi-syllabic, uh, just clever stuff was like what we'd always go for. That's why like a lot of cats from that time actually had a hard time putting like songs together, because like every song, every verse would just be like something that you had to. There was no Rap Genius. There was no Genius.com
Right.
that you could type in and be like, what do they mean by that?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but that's when I fell in love with it. It was like high school, 13, 14 years old, back in
Oh,
2000, 2001.
cool. Yeah, I think when you first sent me was it the SoundCloud
It's either
or
SoundCloud or Bandcamp, one of the two.
it must have been SoundCloud. No. It was what's the
Or Spotify.
Spotify. It was Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um and then I think I hit you back and I was like, yo, you remind me of I say Most Def? I think I might have said
Said Most Def and someone.
And
Excuse me.
what's his name? Dang, I can't remember.
Was it Common?
It was Common. It was Common. But like, I mean, some of like, man, Most Def, Talib Kweli, Common, Camp Low. I mean, those dudes are like, just like, and it's like it's that cool flow, man. I don't know, man. It's so dope. It's so dope. Vibe. So, I'm definitely gonna put your SoundCloud in the description. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. I'm telling you, you are not gonna be disappointed at all. Like it was literally like the first song. I was like, yo, this shit is dope. Like,
I'm trying to work on that now, finishing up this album, and after this, it'll probably be a minute before I put out like a full length thing. Because this is I've been working on this since 2018, pretty much.
Okay. Well, shoot, you got my support, man. Whatever it is, if it's coming out and it costs a little bit of money, I throw the money at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got my support, bro.
Nah, thank you.
Because I know it'd be worth it. Getting into the gaming, like what video game? Like, when did you get into gaming? Like, when did you know that you love gaming?
Shoot. When I got my first system, that was the regular Nintendo. I got into games because my parents would play Atari, so we'd be in the living room, just playing like Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, what the
Pitfall?
heck is the other? Pole Position.
Okay.
Pause. Yeah, I mean, I got all the games right here. I can't really see it, but you got a whole bunch of Atari games behind me. All my parents' Atari games, but mainly just be Galaga, Pole Position number 2, and Miss Pac-Man. And then my uncle had got me the Nintendo, the NES, and I had Super Mario 3 on there, and I was like, oh snap, hey! But it really set in when I'd say the Sega. You couldn't, like, when Sega came out, I was trying to get new games left and right, like just anything Sega you could, I would try to play it if I could afford it and get it. Right. I think N64 had probably the biggest impact. And then after that, my next system was the Xbox. But yeah, between the Xbox is like the main home console, because I definitely I'm still an Xbox head, Microsoft all the way. I don't know about this new iteration of the company. So I'll say that just because they're trying to do away with consoles from what it look like. But between that and Pokemon, early Pokemon kid, still got my red and blue cartridges, and yeah, like that's like when I fell in love with gaming. But like actually looking at it as like a viable way to like make content, I wanted to go to school for something like technology wise. I didn't know what a lot of the times, and so like it went all over the place. Video game development was in the brain at some point, but it wasn't like as serious as like mass media and communications. That's one of the things I went to school for. Um,
Okay.
in music production. Like at some point, those took precedent over just video game development. Because like we come from the time where they said if you're playing video games all day, you're wasting your life,
Right.
right? And
Right.
now, like to look at those things in retrospect, where it's just like there's just a crazy ton of gamers, um, and then game developers who play games make that for content. That's just it's just pretty wild, you know. But yeah, I'd say my early childhood is when I fell in love with gaming.
Okay.
It's never stopped. Yeah, but there's like been brief times where I put down the paddles, but other than that, I've been playing games
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you say that cuz like you said like when we grew up like video game design, like I wanted to go to school for video game design. I went visited a couple colleges and they had like really good video game like design like classes and like a whole thing, but first of all it was super expensive, you know what I'm saying, like super
Yeah.
expensive. And then not to mention like you didn't think that you could really take it anywhere because
Hmm.
of that whole like, well, where I came from, like my parents, like they were just like, you know, you got to go to school for this or this, like, but so like they didn't really like push like, oh yeah, you know, you love gaming, you should go that route because it might take off. It was like that's not going to go anywhere, so don't do that, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, young adult, like you try to still listen to your parents because most of the time they're right and they'll give you the "I told you so" speech. So yeah, I didn't end up going that route either, but I wish I did. Especially how gaming has blown up, like you said, it's just kind of crazy. Um,
Super facts.
yeah. Uh, let's see. So, what made you want to become a content creator? Like, when did you like? When were you like, yo, I think I want to do that? Because it's pretty um overwhelming trying to get the start, right? Because you're
Yo.
nervous, you don't know how, you know, how people are gonna, how you sound, how people are gonna take to your personality. You don't know anything, and you're putting yourself out there for everybody to critique. So it's like, when did you decide like, yo, I think I want to do this?
It is wild because it's as of late, probably like within the last 3 years, is when being comfortable in it and like in being considered a content creator. And the reason I say that is because coming from music and hip hop in particular, 2018, 2017, 2016 to 2018 was like a uh, weird time in the media overall space because like when Ninja and Drake played together, right, there was all this talk around uh, where things could go, and you kind of started to see stuff between social media and just media in general, like uh, topics and things like trending and bubbling, but you didn't know where it was going to lead to. And you just had kind of like with AI now, when folks talk a lot about AI, like it's a hot topic, unless like you're in the space or using AI, um, or have had any kind of interest in it, then you can kind of see where it will probably go, other than just relying on what news or what people are just saying. In general, that's usually like a projection of what they feel about it or technology. The same thing was happening within the music business and industry space, where you have way more people that have to look elsewhere than you do that are successful and can just do music, right? Whether that be selling beats and you make a full time living off of that, or whether that be you doing performances, or even now we see people who sell sample packs where you can be a musician, and just record things in your crib. And if you're a multidiscipline uh, musician, like you know how to play the drums, the bass, the keys, maybe another instrument, you can make sample packs by yourself, and that can
Mm-hmm.
be a viable income option. If you're not doing any of those three things though, like you kind of SOL, and you will have to like kind of look elsewhere to see what other viable options there are. So like back in the day before podcasting, you'd have cats who were in music, and sometimes if it wasn't the music industry that they went to, it'd be radio, right? And to me, content creating was just another word or way for saying broadcaster. Um, and so I started looking at it around that time where I was like, hmm, are they gonna like push like rappers or MCs and folks to be more of this content creator thing? Because we already make content, but you were seeing like a bunch of folks changing their titles around just so they could get booked for a show in different spaces, right? So it was just like, okay, um, let me. And I'm a big Gary V head too, so like a lot of what he was saying, you started to see in other areas and spaces too. And I was like, it seems like this is legit. We're going to get all of us that make art or are creative are going to get pushed to this content creator title. And I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I was like, but if you make music, then you can do like the background music for your stuff. And if whatever else media wise, multimedia wise, you can like put that into your content creation space. So I kind of saw
Right.
like there was going to be like internet Kanye's, like what Kanye did to music in terms of being not just a music producer, but like I rap, I make this, I make this, I make this, and he's like an all-in-one type of individual. I saw that kind of happening with the content creation space. Um, so my first tracks was with Fortnite in 2018, and I was on Twitch, using Twitch. I think my joint's still up on there on Twitch, Soulmanit. But I would like record just some of the gameplay. Really, it was replays. I wanted to make machinimas. Like I still got the footage from 2018 to
What
now.
is that?
So red versus blue is like would be considered a machinima, and that's where you make a movie or a TV series using just video game footage, right?
Okay.
And when you think of Red versus Blue and how that was made, it was made in the Forge replay system in Halo, and someone just recording their screen, and then you add the voiceover dubs and all that. So you're like literally doing like choreographed acting, either with mouse and keyboard or with the joystick, right? And you're moving characters around to where they got to be. You're making them do this, like if they're like saying yes or like whatever, make it look
Right.
like they talking. And I saw Fortnite with that, and I saw the replay system. I'm like, yo, you can make movies with this joint, like without having to know all the animation stuff,
Right.
right? And so I just started recording Twitch gameplays without my face, making sure the mic was on mute, and just like literally acting out stuff. So I got like about
Okay.
6 years worth of footage, um, of like Fortnite content that's
Yeah.
just like movie related that I'm still working on.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll come out whenever that comes out.
At some point. All
Yeah,
right.
just a joint called Map Wars. Um, the hardest thing making that was when the game breaks, and if you're doing it just on console, and it's not, and the replay system it's still to this day is not optimized properly. Even if you're on computer, you can still have glitches and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, it was that's around that time. It was like so. It was like looking at like, all right, where are we going music wise? Um, because I appreciate you calling me lyricist, MC. Um, I mean, you can see even with current events in hip hop, like it's not the best or healthiest space to be in. Then even my students, they told me that you can be outdated. It's like you can be too old for this joint. I'm like, hold up now, like y'all ain't even got no cutoff.
Right. Not to
What's the
mention
age?
the best lyricists are like the older ones right now, and like none of
Yeah,
these
they
young cats
40s,
can even
50s,
come
and
close
60s.
to
Yeah,
right. I
I'm
mean, we got
37,
LL.
brother.
LL just came out with a new joint, and he 56. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Killed it on that too.
right, him and M.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Mm.
you know,
So yeah, a lot of that just made me start looking at like what are some viable options, and especially during COVID and post COVID, it was just like okay, that was the tipping point that it looked like we was all coming to. We just ain't know it was going to be that
yeah,
would catapult everybody to this next step in the media space. Um, I hadn't seen my ma. I just got to see my ma recently this year, and it had been almost 3 years. It was 2 years and some change before I
okay,
could even see her, right? just
Right.
to be able to afford a ticket and not have to worry about what's happening here, bills wise, and all that stuff, right? So I was like, no, this is going to work. Because definitely, if you raised off of Kanye, early Kanye, can't nobody tell you can't do nothing. If you put you like definitely if you
Right.
put your mind to it, and
Yeah.
folks saying you can't do it for no logical reason, it'd be one thing if you was like, yo, Soul Man, you can't be a sumo wrestler. You're gonna have to like eat mad stuff. You're gonna have
Right.
to do, or you can't be this because of like something that's practical and realistic. And even then, I'm still gonna give it my shot.
Right.
The worst is gonna happen. I'm gonna fail and fall
Yeah.
and get back up.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I kind of have that mentality as well. Like I've been doubted my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even if I if I know you didn't say I can't do it, I could tell by your like how you're acting or whatever, right? Or how
Mm-hmm.
you might answer a question that I have or a statement that I say. Like it's kind of like you're like like you can't do that, and it's just like okay, that's more fuel to my fire. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
like some people are like that. Like they need somebody to doubt them to push them to the next level. You know, and not saying that anybody doubted you, but like
Oh, they did. They did. I'm five
you
seven and
know,
a half, $100 61 wet. So,
yeah. No, I feel you. I'm the exact same way, man. Like everything that I put into my content and everything like that, it's like I wear my heart on my sleeve. So like everybody, I got friends that don't support me the way that y'all support me. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of
mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, they must not believe in me. Okay, like I got friends that send me content from other people, and it's like, yo, you ain't sharing my content. You know,
Yep.
okay, that's even more fuel to my fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to keep on pushing to get to the level where, you have to like you gonna be proud to say that you're friends with me. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
It was something I
Um,
learned in music. When you say that, there used to be a spot, joint called the Shadow Lounge here, like about 11 years ago. It was here, and one of the homies had told me to stop coming to the open mics. They had an open mic for the youth, and then they had an open mic just for everybody. And I would
mhm,
go to both. And he had said like, "Yo, stop coming like every week." And I was like, "Why? Why stop coming? I'm killing it every time I'm on there." He's like, "Yeah, that's not the point though." He's just like, "Don't keep coming here because then cats get used to you, and you're basically if they can like touch you and like put like you're like, within physical reach, right? They look at you as if y'all on the same level, not on
okay,
some egotistical thing, but
right,
like on in a way of like that lesson taught me that if someone has access to you, they think that they can be in the same space as you,
okay,
and therefore like they don't look at you as being in the same space as a Beyonce or a Jay-Z or a
hmm
Ninja or a Nick Merckx, like whoever, right?
hmm
And it would be like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like that, no, I can't be. And then sure enough, like you'll start to see it. And when my dad used to say, make people miss you, right? Not
okay,
on some like I'm a mess with your mind thing, but like if you see me all the time, you get used to me, you start to take me for granted,
right,
right? But like if you're not there all the time, you event and you genuinely enjoy one's presence or whatever they bring, you're gonna miss them. And it's it's weird trying to balance that because like we got like micro attention spans now. So it's just like you be so afraid like of like, well, if I'm gone for a day, they still gonna
yeah,
bang
they're
with me. Like,
right. Are they gonna unsubscribe? Are they gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
man, I
yeah,
had 121 subscribers yesterday, last night, and I woke up
yeah,
this morning. I got 120. I was like, oh my god, what did I do?
right. Damn, I gotta start streaming again. I gotta go 24 hours. Like, yeah, man. I
I
mean
had to tell myself,
that
don't
part
trip.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't even. Um. So on the content creator note,
Mm-hmm.
who is your favorite content creator, and like who inspired you to like like you see their content and you're like, yo, like I love their content and I think that I could do something similar, or I just think that I can do that because they can do it.
Um, for gaming, I would say coming from Fortnite, especially Daquan, um, which is
Okay.
like he's like someone I don't hear get brought up anytime you watch any of the
Not
interviews. It's
anymore.
like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't hear anything like about the old TSM, like him, Hamlin's, and Myth, but
Yep.
Daquan especially because what I liked what I liked and what I miss about his streams and his videos would be one, his play style like reminds you of the type of aggression that you may want to have as a competitor, where
Hmm.
it'd be like there's gonna be times where it's just like, all right, I can't push this, but then there's times where it's just like, nah, man, bump that, I'm gonna push this, right? And he'll just do that with the whole double shotty before they took it out the game there.
Hmm.
And he was just, the man was sick with it with the double pump, and there'd be videos where he was just like talking to folks on some real stuff, right? And for me, I was using, my pops passed in 2017 and my mom got cancer at the top of the year, same time. And I was using gaming and just different streamers to just cope with that. When he had first gotten sick back when I was a kid, is when I got into Pokemon. And so like we'd be, going to the different hospital visits, whatever like that. I just bring my Game Boy with me. My mom worked at the hospital too. And so like just my games were with me everywhere I went, right? And we're a gaming family from card games, board games, all that.
Hmm.
And when listening to Daquan, he would just have some. Even he's like a little bit younger than me, but he would still have some like mature shit to say, and I'd be like, that was a good reminder. And then so that'd be, if it wasn't like a reminder, it'd be like, I like the way he's talking to folks on here and how he's taking into consideration. He's speaking in a general enough way where it don't matter like what your age is, you can get like a nugget or a gem from this.
Hmm.
Um, so I would say definitely him. Um, Anybody who is on controller and is nasty with controller going up against keyboard mouse players,
Yeah.
like Nick Merckx back in Fortnite, um, just learning this whole thing. What was it called? Low Ground Warrior. I was just like, what is that? And just when you're coming up against cats who are master builders or just like
Right.
aggro pushers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got to do like fake cat and mouse type stuff. Like if you really the lion, but you fighting off like against someone who's pushing like they're a greater lion, you
Hmm.
turn into the mouse right quick, let them chase after you, and then bah, bah, just catch them. And I was like,
Right.
that's like a rope a dope. I was like, I like that. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna sucker you in and then just um yeah. So like anybody that's like that, really now I'd say it's not even gamers per se. It's like it wasn't until I got into PUBG. Um, Average basically gave me the same vibes of watching like Daquan, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
then there, it was funny. And then there's you, and you were like a myth, not myth from TSM, but like just you were a myth because I didn't see you for like a whole grip, and everybody just kept bringing your name up in the chat all the time. It was like, yo, when are you gonna play with Jewelz again? When are you gonna play with Jewelz again? I'm like, who is this man, Jewelz? I keep hearing about him. There's no way for me to just search like, and I didn't know like the spelling or nothing like that. And like one of the funniest things too is because I'll be looking for like black content creators, right?
Right.
So now I was like, I'm jumping over here. I'm just like, oh snap, there's a black dude who played PUBG, yeah. And I was like, I was hyped, still hyped, right? And yeah, so like for the PUBG creators, definitely you. This whole clique that y'all got, like of you, Av, Uno. He's streaming right now. I think he's still streaming.
Yeah.
Remy, I got put on to Remy.
Yep.
Found out about what's his name? Chaco Taco. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
he's cool. He's like a laid back dude.
Yeah. Super
Um,
laid back. A little too laid
like
back for me.
yeah, it's what I end up starting to do is just like watch cats and just their play styles, because their play styles be like their personality, And I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much one of the dopest things. Um, and just now where I'm at in my life too, it's harder to watch like Fortnite creators. Because you don't have cats like Daquan, who I think at that time too was in a weird space where it's just like you're trying to grow as an adult, and then you in a game that refuses to mature.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and then so that's why I get pissed. I think we all get pissed off when PUBG does that craziness um with its battle passes, and it's just like,
Yeah.
hey yo, stop doing this stuff shit. Like,
Yeah. I got a
um,
lot of stuff to say about PUBG, but I keep it to myself. I've
man,
already I've already done enough complaining about it.
I'll say it for all of us. Shoot.
So speaking of PUBG, so is PUBG the best BR that you've ever played, or is there another one out there?
Um, I played Apex for a second, hot second. Um, I wouldn't say I played it enough to be like uh Soul Man's a wizard at the game. Um, Fortnite was my first introduction to Battle Royale. Um, as far as like playing it before, I never realized that like I'd watched Battle Royale all my life because I'm a WWE fan, right? So like uh the whether it was like the 20-man, 30-man battle royales, this over the top rope, or
Yeah, yeah.
last man standing, that kind of battle royale.
Right.
No DQ. Like I just never really put it together. When I kept hearing like battle royale, battle royale, battle royale. And then there's like just the there's like Black History roots with battle royale too, like especially in the southern states. Like James Brown, he used to be in battle royales there, like at the carnivals and stuff. That's where the original term dark match come from. The match that
Oh,
comes
okay.
on before the main event joint. But yeah, like I played Halo's joint for a little bit. I still got to do the campaign for Halo Infinite. I'll do that for the channel at some point. But yeah, like I'd say PUBG is the battle royale that um it's the second one I've put the most hours into. Fortnite definitely I got 6 years worth of content. So my pub stuff doesn't even come close. But I think without the Fortnite run that I had from 2018 to last year, you wouldn't really be seeing me. You wouldn't have seen me. We wouldn't have met. Um, like it is just I don't know. To me, like it rewards you for your aim. That's one thing I would get tight with in Fortnite is I understand there's this concept of RNG, but man, when you hit a snipe and you hit that bad boy, like
It is tough in Fortnite to hit a snipe. It is.
it is, and just how they do their hitboxes, I don't know if it's the same as it is with Pub, with both being made off of the Unreal Engine. It's just like, oh, all right, well, if y'all are made off the same system, I don't get how the I can take a heavy damn what's it called? I can take the sniper in Fortnite to hit for 150 automatically with the headshot.
Mhm.
Um, but like half the time you're just like, wait, what, bro? Like you didn't hit, and it's like no, nah, and it's getting tight all the time with that. With Pub, um, it don't take forever to bring someone down with shots. That was one of my issues with Road Company.
Yeah.
Um, would be that it just take forever, bro. It take forever just to bring someone down. Like you just hit him with his SMG and it's just like 15, 15, 10, 10, 15. It's like, oh shit, okay. Um, all right, but yeah, like pub pub's definitely. I love it. I love it. I haven't played it long enough to hate it like all y'all sometimes. Like I know y'all don't like hate it. And it's more like it's like you've been playing this for a number of years, and basically what Fortnite did to me is what Crafton's doing to y'all, right?
Right.
And it's just like, okay, that's
I
damn.
think the main thing that like when you hear like me and Jeezy like complain about PUBG, it's just like we want the game to evolve just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still stuck in 2017, and it's
Hmm.
like you can't have a game out for 8 years. What was it? Eight? No, 6 years. 6, 7 years.
It's longer than
Um,
Fortnite, right? Like by a year.
yeah, it's longer than
Word.
Fortnite. No, probably like by like 6 months. Um, but like you can't have a game out that long and then just keep it the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're doing like extra, like they're doing all these maps, which I think actually hurts the game. Like all those maps, right? Um, and then like the content that they do release is like meaningless content. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, so it's like take some time with all the money that you've made and make an actual impact on your game to like a dynamic to where people feel like they're playing a new game, even with the old PUBG feel. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think any
that's
of them listen to the player base anymore.
no, because the thing is PUBG player base, like it's so weird. Like the PUBG player base, like they don't want evolution. They literally want that game to be the exact same. Like they don't want anything to change. Like they just
Hmm.
they like it for the way that it is to the core. You know what I'm saying? And then some people just they want a little bit a little different to it, but like still it being PUBG. So like I don't know if you've heard of Super People, but Super
I
People
keep
was
hearing about it.
yeah, you'll have to go back and find some of the content on my channel. It was basically a faster paced PUBG with abilities. And it was just like it was so good. Like I know like a lot of people didn't like it and it didn't last long for a couple reasons, but like to play the game, like if you got a chance to actually play the game, you'd have been like, yo, this is it right here. Like this is the game. So you have to check out some of the stuff on my channel.
Okay.
I put out a lot of content for that, even though it was only out for like 6, 8 months or something like that. But
Damn.
it was a good game. It was PUBG but better.
Do you
Um,
think Off the Grid got a chance for being that? I've seen
I was
Super People talked about with that.
yeah, I was gonna ask you on that, but I actually do think uh Off the Grid has a chance to make a dent in the battle royale scene. It's fresh, it's new. Everybody's looking for the next big thing, you know. And I actually went and what you know because we played last night. I actually went and looked up some like console gameplay, and the console. So I think that they optimized it for certain things, right? So like the optimization for console is better than the optimization for our PCs right now. So it's
Interesting.
like I'm actually thinking like, yo, the next time I play it, it's probably going to be on console, you know, because it's like it looked like a smoother experience. So,
Hmm.
but I think Off the Grid, I think that they might have done a little too much with like the limbs and stuff, you know. Um, but like you know, like you got to pick up this limb and then you can upgrade to this limb, like or this leg, and it's like I don't know. It just kind of feels like they overdid it when it could just be kind of simple. Like you can keep like the like being able to jump off something and kind of boost through the air to get
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Like you can keep that, but like make it more simple. Like is your gun skill better than mine? I think that's what people miss is like, is your gun skill better than mine? You know, and that's why people love
Hmm.
PUBG because that PUBG gives you that feel. Like there's no building, there's no.
So it's wild you say that because when I first started PUBG, we did it on console on
Mhm.
Xbox,
Okay.
and the whole inventory system felt like playing. I imagine like when you just look at Tarkov for the first time, and you're like, "Wait, what?" Like, like, somebody came in my chat the other day and was just like, "Yo, you play Tarkov?" And I was just like, "No, Dr. Lupo said it was like 100 or something like that." Just I was like, "No, I'm good." Like because it looked like something just to try, but that inventory system
It'll
looks
scare you away.
yeah. Like, and I'm watching Lupo just moving stuff like how you and Ab be moving inventory, just taking someone's ammo after you get them, right? Like,
Yeah.
because it's slow as heck when you on controller trying to do
Right.
it for PUBG, right? So I'm just always mystified when I see someone just rushing stuff and you just clear out somebody's bag in 2.4 seconds. And I'm like, well, how did you do that, right? Like, but
Right.
like I remember being on Xbox, that just the PUBG inventory system, and then what did each attachment do for, and then which gun did you have to get? So then I needed like a lesson in firearms all over again, and then
Mm-hmm.
just attachments, and which one would you get, which one should you get, which one's good within the virtual space versus what you think is better in the physical space in the real world, like
Mm-hmm.
this needing all that kind of a reprogramming. It took some time, and I had to hate the game I was already committed to before I could like jump over to another one. What
Mm-hmm.
I do like about Off the Grid is like it has the buttons are similar to what's on Pub, and it's got like a mix of some of the Halo mechanics a little bit,
Okay.
Halo COD mechanics, like as far as like moving, like whether like the sliding or like using like the grapple and everything like that. I was like, okay, this is cool. The limbs, it's gonna take some just the whole shield thing, whatever what the heck do you call it, the whatever the heck they are, the pads that you gotta go like looking for every 5 seconds. And at some point, if you didn't notice already, like I usually roll with like limited amount of healing items.
Oh, I know this.
like,
Trust me.
like the way I justify it is like, no, I'm gonna just take them off my enemy. Like I don't need to carry nothing, right? And then you
Right.
find that one enemy to just style on you, right? And that like this, I think if there's a learning curve that goes with it. So like, and you saying it, it's like Fortnite's really easy to pick up when you think of it. Like compared to other, like you don't have an inventory system at all. It's just five
Right.
slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
The buttons are the buttons, and you just after a while you get the mechanics down pack. You good, but then you end up getting super sweats, right? That spend the whole time all day 10, 12 hours just grinding it out, and their grind will probably outweigh someone else's grind at some point. Whereas I
Mm-hmm.
think in something like PUBG and Off the Grid, you get sweats, but you don't have like the most they be doing is like tilting, right? Like, or the
Right.
dude last night, like I didn't even know you could slide in PUBG. Apparently you can. With a little cancel
No,
crouch
you
bullshit. Like,
can't. I don't know how people be doing that. No, you can't. Like
like their fingers are abnormal. That's. I'm just
I
like,
know. I think that they've keybind um
hmm,
two two buttons to or two actions to one button, which allows them to do that. Like they did. Like I think they put like a macro on their mouse or something that allows them to do that. Like
that's
because
crazy.
that's not normal, bro. That ain't normal. I
I
mean,
got
average
styled on.
could probably speak more to it than I can, but I think that that's what's going on.
Okay,
But you had an ultra sweat in your game like that.
man. Every man, these last. Well, when was this? October 7th. I just put the video out today. Actually, I had that was my first win in three days, and I was just like, I was kicking myself in the butt, like because I was just like, yo, every single match was like everyone was camping their life away, and then all of a sudden doing aggressive pushes as if this was like the PUBG PNC, right? And I'm like, what did I miss? Like the last 2 weeks have been super sweats. School's already been in, so I don't know if this is like folks are just like mad with school and just like, no, I'm taking this all out on the game. Or I don't know, right? But
Right.
like, like super sweats came out of nowhere in the last 2 weeks or so, and next to that, then you have the most campiest of campy people. And I don't mean like I have like outfits that look like woodlands attire or something and I'm hiding in a bush on Destin. Like
Right.
I mean like camping in like rooms that like early Fortnite. Like I'm just camping in a room. I'm gonna move only when I have to move. I'm gonna take all my heals that I need, and like you plan for a heal off. And it reminded me of something that Av said one time, where it's just like, this is a game where you fight and shoot people.
Right.
And you got these players who try to win without shooting and fighting like the least amount possible. And you're like, okay, maybe they're a noob. No, they just they do some seasoned shit, and you're like, wait a minute, wait, why are you playing like this?
Right.
Why are you? And
Like, why are you hiding when you have a skill like that? You know?
and it gets you. For me, it get me frustrated because I equate your play style to your personality, like in real
Right.
life, right? So I start being like, oh, you're a punk ass. Like you the type to sucker punch somebody, run away. I turn around and it's like my own people's behind me, and I know they ain't hit me. But you're this is okay. All right. That's why I keep like mad frags on me now. Like just because once I know where you at, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Kobe all day. Like
Right. That's how I am too. Like F a gunfight, bro. Like if
yeah,
you
we can
hide
get
behind
petty.
that tree, I mean, I'm just throwing all the grenades I got, the stuns, everything. You get everything.
That's how I won this last match with a BZ. My first BZ grenade win ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was already in the storm, and he kept trying. And then he kept trying to hug the storm. Let me stop. He kept staying in the storm, like nobody's business, trying to take shots. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like
Mm,
you going that's how you want to lose. This is how you don't want to give me the win straight up. Okay,
right.
all right, that's cool.
Wow.
Take this nade. You can tell I'm
Hey,
passionate
I'm
about
gonna
this game now.
I'm gonna take a 30-second break, go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna edit that out. But yeah, I just gotta use the bathroom real quick.
I'm glad to know that because I'm gonna get my hamsters so they can stop running around on the
Okay.
floor and the ball. That's what you're hearing in the background.
I can't
That's
hear nothing. I can't hear nothing.
okay. Okay, cool. I can hear it, but
All right.
I'm gonna get them.
Okay.
All right, ladies, come on. Here we go. All right.
All right.
I need to get on your level, sir. You got the light, you got the chair, you got the hoodie, you got the
I mean,
hat.
you got to push your own stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So,
Let me see your headphones. You got JJ on the headphones too?
nah. I should though. That's a good idea.
uh
I should.
yeah. Let's go.
All right. Let's see what I was gonna. Okay, so I am a movie buff. I think that you are somewhat of a movie buff. Am I right?
Oh, here he go.
I mean, somewhat,
Here he
right?
go. Man. I worked at Hollywood Video. That was my second or third job.
Hold on. Let me get this dog real quick. God
Mhm.
dang. Apollo, that's enough. Lay your butt down.
Dun dun dun.
Enough barking. No more. Okay? All right. Gonna have to edit that out. All right.
Heard that.
Okay. All right. So I'm a movie buff. I think that you might be a movie buff, like somewhat,
Dude.
like a half movie buff, right?
Dude.
So, so like, what's the best video game movie that you've seen? Like, so like a movie that is based off of a video game,
Oh wow.
or even is not based off a video game, but it just like has like video game like stuff in it. If you know what I'm saying.
That's a good one. On the cartoon side, the first Pokemon movie, the first one, the one with Mewtwo in it. That joint, I think, damn near made almost all of us cry when watching that joint. And that was like my foray into anime style stuff. I don't want to call it just anime outright because it kind of does disservice to the whole anime genre in a way. But definitely that one. On the live action movie side, man, I'm a sucker for the campy CB movies that were video game movies. Not as far as like the live action Dragon Ball. So not that.
Okay.
But the Super Mario movie with John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins. I'm one of the few.
Okay.
I'm one of the few that mess with that movie. I'm like, yo, that's my joint.
No, I mean that was a classic back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And especially as a young kid, like
I don't know. See, because you tried to get on me for this before. I got this on my reselling dig. I'm not reselling these at all, but I got.
Yo. I mean, thank you. Dang. I mean, that's the only thing you got. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna make me happy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you hated me for this one.
No, the third one is trash, bro. I ain't trying to hear nothing about the third. Yo, y'all, this man said that the best Turtles movie was a Turtles 3. That's literally the worst Turtles movie ever made.
I had to troll him. It's trash, but I love it. It's great childhood trash. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
I'd say like of the newer stuff. Been the last. I'm trying to think. Maybe the last video game movie I saw was Sonic. The first two. I think they were decent. They were decent.
Yeah, those were good.
Like I didn't expect the dude who played Cyclops to like to reel me in and care.
Right. Yeah. So did you watch the Knuckles series then?
I didn't see the hold up. The second one I think is the one that got Knuckles.
Right. No, but so he came out. They got his own like TV show.
Oh no,
called Knuckles. Yeah, I think it's on like what is it on? Either on HBO or else it's on like Paramount. One of the two.
I think it's Paramount.
Okay. Yeah.
My gut tells me Paramount, but my gut could be wrong.
I haven't watched it yet, but I mean, I did like the first two Sonic, so I will check that out when I get a chance.
Word.
Speaking of like shows, like, is there any TV shows out there that you're watching that's good?
Just got done watching The Ark. That joint is pretty fly. Is pretty dope.
I have
Um,
not seen that. What's
it's
that about?
on
Is it
it's on the
like
Sci-Fi
Noah's Ark
channel.
type stuff?
In a way, I mean it's basically I guess our this generation's version, a different take on like Star Trek in some ways, but like the premise is that Earth is going through what Earth normally goes through: war and environmental issues, right?
Okay.
And it becomes uninhabitable, and the people have to leave on these spaceships called arcs and go find life somewhere else, right? And these spaceships are retrofitted with like they don't call it hyperdrive, it's called FTL. I forget what the acronym is for, but it's their version of hyperdrive. So we have that kind of technology in the show. um what I like about it and where it gets like Star Trek First Generation like is uh the problems that arise, right? Like I think one of the difficult things when you're doing like a movie or a show is when it takes place on the same location each episode. How do you
Right.
make that like engaging from episode to episode? So they just finished their second season. The season finale was last week.
Okay.
They were showing an episode each week, each Wednesday, excuse me, on Sci-Fi. So if you got Sci-Fi channel app, you can get it on there. Or if you're like part of the NBC, whatever Universal thing, it's on there too. But
Okay.
it's man, it was really really dope. And I mean, if you like Sci-Fi channel stuff, and like for me, like my family, we'd always watch them, especially the campy ones. Everything back to the superhero joint, the Mantis, when that was on there, and Sliders. Uh, this one kind of gives those kind of vibes a little bit, but the production value is way better. You can tell
Right.
that they put time into the writing of this. You you can care about the characters. Um, it's not overly dramatic in the way of like uh, drama, storyline, plot lines, but like it does build upon itself within each episode. There's like a time where it's just like, damn, how y'all gonna get out of this one? Like, and you can binge watch it. Was another thing too that I liked about it. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, the arc definitely that one. Um, we was talking about video games here, man. I'm waiting for the next season of Halo.
See, I didn't even watch that yet. Was it good?
I'm not mad at it. I get why. If you're, I'm always gonna be a super fan of Halo, and only certain Halo ones. So from Halo 1 to 3, ODST, Reach, you got me, right? The ones that
Mm-hmm.
came out after that, where it just seemed like we just gonna do whatever we can with this IP, not a fan of. Um,
Okay.
when the people that it sound like is hating on the TV show of it, like this is a dope first live action show. This isn't the trailer that we saw years ago when we was all like fiending for a live action joint of
Right.
this. So it's not that. It's not the cat who made District 9, who made Off the Grid, or the director is behind
Yep.
that. It's not that. Um, but it does. It's good. Um, yeah, there's room for it to be better. Yeah, they could have not taken Master Chief's helmet off. Okay, cool. Like there's little things you can gripe about with it, but this is a pretty dope live action, and especially the second season, it seemed like they listened to fans. Um, and just even the direction and some of the newer things that they added into it that's not necessarily a part of the video game lore, but it pulls from the video game lore. Like so you have like a couple new characters that wasn't there before,
Mm-hmm.
key characters that were there. You might want to see them in other episodes and in other ways. I'm not trying to ruin or spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. Um, so like if you're like a super Halo fan and you want it to be by the T, no different than when they come out with the Pokemon movies and folks want it to be by the T. It's just like you're probably going to be disappointed anyway. But then at the same time, you're probably disappointed with any movie or show that comes out based on the property. Um, so I thought it was dope. I had no issue with it. The dude that plays Master Chief, Pablo, he's pretty cool in the role.
Okay.
I've never really seen him, I don't think, like in a military-ish type of role. So that was interesting to see him in. Um, and you get to see folks in Spartan armor, like just knocking cats around and stuff, man. Like who don't want that? Like I wanted that joint. It reminded me of the Fallout series.
So are you okay? Yeah, Fallout. Yeah, I didn't even actually. I haven't even finished Fallout yet. I'm like near the end of that season. So
That's
don't say
interesting
nothing
too.
about don't
That's
say nothing
interesting
about
too.
Fallout. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it though. Um, are you a MCU person or a DCU person?
DCU, but when it comes to MCU, I like I like Phase One of the movies. Um, Black Panther would probably be like the last of the original Avenger type movies that I was like all in with. And
Mhm.
even like around then, there were like certain ones where it was just like, eh. Like I like what's his name, Paul Rudd, more than I like Ant-Man. So like I'm
Okay.
only liking Ant-Man because Paul Rudd's in it, and then the whole
Yeah.
cast
Yeah.
of folks and seeing them in other movies. Um, DCU, just my family. I'm my dad was Batman, my mom's Superman. Um,
Okay.
and so like we still got them joints on VHS. And Batman is one of my top five, top three superheroes all time. Love Batman.
All
Um,
right.
and yeah, definitely, definitely a Batman head. I like the last one, long as hell.
Bro, the Batman. Yo, we talked about this. Was it your stream?
I think it
I think we
was.
talked. Like, in my opinion, that is the best Batman ever made. Just because of like it was dark. Like that
It was
first
super
scene when
dark.
he was in the subway and he beat the hell out of those dudes. He's like, I am vengeance. Like, and then just like getting to see the actual detective side of Batman, which we don't get to see in other movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like a more in-depth view of the Batman. And so to me, that was the Batman movie ever made. Now I think that The Dark Knight is the most entertaining. You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about like overall, like the best Batman movie to me is the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So
I think the Batman is like it's if this becomes a trilogy, it's this trilogy's Batman Begins. Because not everybody liked Batman Begins when it came out, and I
yeah,
remember like when that one came out, I was like, "Oh, this shit is dope." And folks were like, "Yeah, but it's not this one. It's not." It's like, listen, them last two that we got before Batman Begins, no, no.
yeah, they should
Like I
just
don't even want to
scrap
hear
that
it.
from the books. Yeah,
I don't even want to hear it. No, after Batman Return, what was it? Batman and then Batman Returns. Like
right.
them joints, classics. But like after that, it was like, I only liked them because I was a kid and I can get the toys to go with it. And I was the little Batman kid, the super, what was it? The Happy Meals, right?
Yeah,
And just getting all that stuff. It was like, but that's it. That's the only reason why you got me, like free toys and shit, right? Like, when you look at it in retrospect, it's like, oh, this is cringe. This is
right.
super cringe.
I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie. Batman Begins, I was not a fan of, but then I had to go back and rewatch it a couple times, and then I started to appreciate what it was. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But
It was deep.
obviously, it was deep. It was
Yeah.
very deep. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And also, Batman or Dark Knight Rises was super deep as well.
That. Yep. They shot some of that
Super
here in
deep.
Pittsburgh too.
For real? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What was it like? The stadium?
The stadium, the end fight scene, that's right over there by the university on the steps
Okay.
of, I forget what building that is. But they did a lot of different shots here, which is
Okay.
pretty dope.
Yeah,
There's
that one
there's their
is
favorite team, the Steelers, over there in the in the stadium.
You know what? Even if my Browns are terrible this year, if we beat y'all, I'm happy. Like I don't care how bad their record is. If we beat y'all, I'm good.
That's
I,
that's
I'm
how
I'm
bad you
just.
know that team is because if I beat my main rival, that's it.
Oh
We don't
man,
even need a chip. We don't even need a chip.
we have a bad start, man. It's just been a bad start. Hurt. We got a bunch of injuries, but that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't even gonna give no excuses.
It's all right. We
Just
right next door, man. We got room on the bandwagon.
no, I ain't jumping. I ain't jumping at all. All right, so I ask everybody this question.
Hmm.
Um, if you could take bits and pieces from every battle royale that you've enjoyed playing and put them into one, like what would those dynamics be to make the ultimate battle royale, in your opinion?
Hmm. Well, seeing as the how I've only played like four. I think I played COD once, but I don't want to like count that. It's like playing it, just just to try it out. Fortnite's building, I love it. I don't love or like what it's become. Um, but just that concept of when you getting shot and attacked from like 8 different directions, and you can just throw up a wall, right? Like out of nowhere. Just that mobile mobile cover, and then being creative with it. Um, just some version of that doesn't have to be like um exactly like Fortnite, but some kind of an iteration of building cover and then being able to build off of that cover instantaneously, um, where it logically makes sense to the game's lore and mechanics. If it's doing it for the sake of doing it, there are a couple games that copied off of Fortnite and just didn't do it well. Um, because what works well for Fortnite is that like literally it's Fortnite. You're taking the mechanic from Save the World, applying it in the battle royale system. It's in the 4x4 square,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so that way you can geometrically play off of that, and no one's going to question it, right? As long as it works, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say it's not from a battle royale, but the mechanic like Gears of War movement, um, whether that be like just rolling around,
Okay.
ducking, dodging, going cover on a wall or like a ledge, something like that. Um, I think that's really what could make PUBG like way better is
Mm-hmm.
different movement mechanics, like actual vaulting. I think you were the first person I heard, and that's how I knew I wasn't alone in this when it came to climbing mountains in PUBG. And
Can't do
just
it. You can't
there's
do
one
it.
stream of yours he was trying to jump up, and I was like, oh damn, I've I've been him. Yep, like, and yeah, so some kind like some just movement mechanic where like you can climb and stuff like that. I think that's like the dopest thing about Off the Grid, like with the whole flying around and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Ninja earlier this morning, and he had talked about you got cats that have perfected it already. I don't even know how long the game been out, but they call it a dolphin. You got a dolphin jump or whatever. Basically, keep hitting up and down on the keys, and you
Mm-hmm.
just basically fly like this, and you can stay flying for however long you want to fly.
Okay.
Um, and I was
I
like,
think Jeezy
okay,
said that yesterday. Like, oh, you could just fly across this whole map.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like that kind of. I like the mobility as long as it's reasonable. So if they were to nerf it, like where there's like some kind of a cooldown or something like that. Just so like cats, like when you get in the best of them, they not just dipping out every 5 seconds, um, and always having that way to escape. Um, so I would say, yeah, certain some kind of a building cover thing other than like a shield bubble, I guess, um, would be cool. Vaulting mechanics, stuff like that. Um, the gunplay between pub and Fortnite. If it was PUBG gunplay, but I guess some interesting weapons. Not too interesting because you tell some developers interesting and they just add some crazy ass stuff that just ain't got no business in the game.
Right.
Um, it's not really specific. to the answer, but hopefully it's answering it proper.
No, no, that's
Um, Vehicles, definitely vehicles is fun. Um, yeah, it don't have to be like a crazy ton of vehicles. I would like to see tanks in games.
that's just doing too much, bro. I
That's
mean,
not.
you can't take out a tank. All right, tanks are just overpowered.
They are, but as long as what was it? Av said in his update today, the new update. If you like the Lynx is the only weapon that can like pierce through tanks or not tanks, BRDMs. It's the only one, right? So you can't just like chill in your BRDM the whole time, right? And the Lynx is the only one that got a caliber that can just hit you right in the driver's seat. So they could add tanks theoretically, just give us more weapons of that same caliber and just something something, right? Because man, I love playing games where you can just get in the seat and then boom and just wipe out like 18 people at the same time in the game. It's
I
fun.
mean, yeah, that was Warzone, the first Warzone. Like people would be not maybe not in the tank, but they'd be driving around in the vehicle, and you take a rocket launcher and you shoot it, and you kill the whole squad. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
that's it.
It's just like
We need better RPGs.
I
I
would,
would I
yeah,
would I would
that would
love
do it.
that.
That would bring, yeah. I mean, that would bring and it maybe like a 3-shot kill the tank type thing, right?
Like quad launchers.
Right, because you don't want it to be too overpowered, and but you also want to be able to enjoy your time in there. So,
Mm-hmm.
somebody would have to be rocking. But I would think that the rockets don't take up a gun slot. It's just a third slot. You know what I'm saying? Like then
That
I can
would be
understand that.
nice. Yeah,
But
yeah.
maybe you can only hold like 4 rockets. Like you can't just like stock up on rockets.
See,
And then maybe like the rocket ammo is a little bit hard to find or something like that.
I'm with that. I'm with that. See, I die when I use a Panzer fist every single time. I don't know what
Man,
what it is. I've
I
tried to aim with it. It's like you shoot it and it spirals, and it's just like I didn't. Why? And I
but why do
just
I always get killed with that thing then? I mean, like, not like it
facts.
hits the ground next to me, it like directly hits me. And I ain't nothing worse than you seeing that thing come towards you and you can't do nothing about
Mm-hmm. See, that's why I like an instantaneous cover. Just
it. Yeah, that
boom,
would
throw a
work.
wall up, Fortnite, right?
Right. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
the biggest
I'd say
fan
that.
of the building, but I could see something like that. I could see that.
I'm the only one
I mean,
out of
maybe
all the
just a
PUBG
wall.
homies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that said that they love builds. All y'all love no builds.
Oh yeah, no build is where it's at. And bro, I'm too old to be fucking throwing up a ramp and 4 walls around it, and then
No,
it gets shot
even
down, and now I
better.
got to build it again.
Even
Nah,
better.
nah.
You gotta embrace that Jeezy tagline. Best 40-year-old in the game. Just gotta
Jeezy's the
embrace it.
best 60-year-old in the game.
Oh damn. He
Yeah,
said it.
yeah.
He said it.
All right, so tell me, like, since you've started doing content creation and you've started live streaming as well, like,
Mhm.
what has content creation and live streaming taught you?
Hmm. That's a good question. Um, to be more consistent, but also like efficient and fast with the consistency. I don't like being sloppy. Um, I know there are some content creators and Gary Vee to a point will tell you like just be fast. If you're sloppy, you can fix it as you go. Um, I think for some folks there's a privilege with that. I don't think all of us get that same pass or privilege to just be sloppy. Um, so it's like I've been, yeah, it's definitely pushed me to have to put stuff out, and not also not sit on content. I have a tendency to I can hoard or collect like just plays, clips, sessions. and be like, I'm gonna get to this, I'm gonna get to this, I'm gonna get to this, and before you know it, you're like 5, 6 hard drives in full of stuff, and now you gotta spend a couple weekends on just uh putting them in folders, and then going back and deleting and stuff like that. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely adding video to my repertoire has made it where I have to be more efficient with media in general. Um, so like it's changed even how I have to file my samples to to my beats after they're already made, to like songs. So just even from an organizational standpoint, it's definitely had to help with that, and taught me to just be better with that, because we can create our own sloppiness too.
Right.
Um, I think recently it's there's I'm super competitive, and having to realize that this space is both about entertaining and also doing your best. And so I think the folks in my chat, which are cats that come from you and Averages chat, have taught me to not take the game so serious, which is still like a work in progress. Because I'll like flip shits, like when you're having like a good run, and then you literally die to camp save a lot over here, right? Like the just, and you're just like, wow, I just had 7, 8 limbs. I was in the groove, right? And you get mad, and then it's happening on stream,
Right.
or even if it wasn't happening on stream, let's say like you 3 hours in, and this run just happened on the third going in the fourth hour mark, and then you
Yeah.
just lost it, and it's just like, god damn, this is 15 gigs right here, dog. Like, and and now you're just doing the math of file storage and all that stuff, and yeah, they're trying to basically keep a better mentality. Because right now, I'd probably, if I had to grade myself, I'd definitely give myself like a C, sometimes a D. Um, I'm only grading it that low just because it's just like it's definitely not an A. Um, but a B, there are some days where it might be a B, but overall it's not a B. Um, and so like it's taught me to have to just be better, not just like at playing, but just be better with being in the broadcast space. Because we do get like, if this was like actual radio, or like podding like how we doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a headset that we both have as we're talking, and so like trying to have that while playing the game, like, is crazy. Uh, I tip my hat off to both you and Av, and just I don't know how y'all do it sometimes. Well, I do. It's just trying to get it's trying to get to that level headedness. Um, Even if we are yelling at the screen, it's just like, no, I need to yell like they to yell.
Man, I'm the biggest rager out there, man. You don't want to be like me, that's for sure. But I think that um if that's naturally who you are, like your competitiveness, and then if something happens you rage, I think that people like seeing that, man, because it just shows that, like, you're just like them. You're just like the people that's watching. Like, we have our good games and we have our bad games, and when we're doing good, we love it, and then something happens, we're like, oh, because I think the viewer also sees that and they feel the same way that you do. Like, damn, because they
Mm.
want to see you succeed. You know what I'm saying? So it's
See,
like,
but I can get away from myself with it, where that was one of the reasons why I had to kind of like leave Fortnite alone, because I would get like super depressed. So like I already had like my mental health issues as it was, and
okay,
just being competitive and playing better, and then also being competitive in music, where like you're just trying to outperform everybody, because cats is just like, oh well, your conscious spiritual self ain't gonna succeed in this industry, no diddy, right? And that's cats like just knowing the baseline of everything, and still saying that you ain't gonna succeed. And so then you usually, in the most of the stuff that I pick up, I can pick it up like pretty fast, and then it just becomes a matter of muscle memory, and learning the getting better with your gamer IQ, right? And yeah, with like something like um, pub is that has been the game where it's just like, dude, you might have to learn keyboard mouse. You just might. And there's a part of me that's just like, nah, forget that. Like, like they said it was the master race. No, that's racist. No, I ain't doing it. Like this is
Right.
council till we die. Right. Like just um, and understanding what I'm saying, but then also being like at the end of the day, it is just games. But then you'll turn on the TV or you turn on YouTube and you'll see someone just made bank, and you're just like, my God, really? Just I'm not giving it my all. Like,
Yeah.
and, and you'll go down that rabbit hole, that content rabbit hole, content creating rabbit hole, where like you're gonna wind up making a video one day saying I had to delete YT Studio app from my phone. Right. And yeah, because it just you just I for me I just do not like I severely dislike cheaters. I'm trying to get better with it because there's a part of me that feels like it's unhealthy, and it's only unhealthy in the sense of if you're trying to give more compassion to people, it's like I'm trying to understand if this was hustling, if this was like folks who don't have, who are poor, and so you doing this to get by, blah 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 blah, and that's why you're doing it to put food on your family's table. But like you're giving a whole context and backstory to try to be compassionate, but it's just like, no, that's like kind of where I come from. That doesn't mean necessarily what why they're doing it. Like, and it could be is like you could be some some hack with some hacks, and this is how you make your money or whatever like that. But then it's just like then you ruin the whole thing for everybody else. No different than some hustles causing harm to the rest of the community and things
Right.
like that. So then it's just like that's about as much compassion as I try to give it. But then when you got like them blatant ass cheaters or hacks that just not only that, but then they hide and they do like just stuff. And you're just like, okay. And that used to just like mess with me. Um, it just messed with me something fierce because you're trying to give it your all. You're not trying if you're not trying to cheat nobody out of money, cheat on relationships, like just not cheat at all, right? You trying to just
Right.
play the game straight up, be a straight up guy. Um, it'll mess with me to some on some level. Uh, Especially with as much as folks have doubted me and said that you can't win in this game called life, however you try to play it without
Mm-hmm.
cheating in some kind of way. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, no, like God's watching all this, whatever you believe that to be.
Right.
It's like, it's watching all this. It's like,
Yeah.
most y'all don't believe in no day of judgment. No. You don't think you're gonna get yours in the end? You will. You all will. So I try to. I've been trying to stay more in that space. That's what my pops taught me. My mom, she's on that boat now. Um, so yeah, trying to healthily stay in that place. Watching y'all, watching Av. Um, I just started watching this dude, C Dome. Mainly because
Okay.
him and I, when
Yep.
we put the Veil of Tego updates out, he was the only one that was putting stuff out, and I'm like, damn, you look like a white doppelganger of me with like thicker glasses. So just been watching his streams. He been cool. Just asking him
Okay.
how he keeps a level head. It seems like the family oriented folks, basically because you kind of have to for the sake of family,
Right.
um, have been offering that mature advice for you guy. You know.
Yeah. Um. All right. So for my last question, um, if there was somebody starting out in the content creation space, the live streaming space, and they came to you, uh, what advice would you give them?
Uh, I would say don't do this unless you love it and love to love the struggle. Um, yeah, don't do this unless you love it, and you can also learn to love the struggle. I guess I don't think anybody just come out and be like, "Oh, I love the struggle," right?
Mm-hmm.
But like from not to get like overly religious or push religious stuff. Um, in my belief system, we try to embrace struggle and not look at it necessarily as a punishment from the Most High, but more so look at it as a reason to lean more into the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Easier said than done, right? And I think that's part of the everyday test in that sense. Because you're gonna. One thing I learned from Fortnite that I actually had to revisit in playing PUBG. How many games have you played, and then what's your win loss record? And chances are everybody has a higher loss record than they do of their wins,
Mm-hmm.
right? And from that, you there's a learning thing with it because like if you look at everybody who's won any of these video game championships, all we see is them holding the trophy or holding the big ass check that got the money on it with the the signature whatever, and we forget all the losses. Or in a more closer to proximity, you go on YouTube, you see your new favorite streamer, and they got a new video up, and it's got however many views, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think it's a lot more clear. It's a lot clearer um, that it doesn't have to be like 10,000, 20,000, 4,000, or 40,000, whatever amount of views for someone to be like, oh damn, right? If whenever they put a video up and you only get like two or three, be happy with that,
Right.
right? And just because you don't know what's going, you do not know what's going to pop. I remember when
Right.
I did the Valetego videos, the first one, I was not expecting the first video to do any kind of well, right? And I remember doing the joint. And I'm like, well, I got to get on this, do these. I want to do my own style of an update video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see other channels in the space like Av who would do updates and they just do them in their own way, right? And I was like, all right, they get into it, let me get to it as well. And I just remember it happened to be update day, and I was literally doing the same stuff I would do with Fortnite. We just get in there, you wake up, it's like, oh snap, there's a new update. Let me update my computer and right. And you get in and you explore and you look around, and literally like the next day it was like close to 1,000 or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Y'all watching me for real?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then it went to like the thousands on the other one. I was like, well, shit, let me get, when's the second one come out? And I got on that. And then that one did better than the first one.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. Y'all like zombies in PUBG? I didn't think that because I made a video last year of the zombie arcade mode, blah, 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 blah. And, but I would say, again, like you don't know what's going to work. You got to like love, in this case, you got to love the game that you're playing. Um, like, and like actually like love it means you're going to stick with it even when it's a shitty update. Right. And that's just what it is. It's like, but you still, still go at it. Um, Learn to make content without others. Like make it, have a plan going into it. Um, get comfortable being in front of the camera. I think what's easier for me is like coming from music. Like I'm used to being on stage. I've been performing since like 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like 21 years. I've been performing. My mom and pops met at a radio station, my dad's radio station. So like I'm used to hearing my voice. I like so going through all those different things of like, oh, I hate my voice. I hate the way I look. I hate like the earlier you can go through that, the better. Because none of us are perfect, and the ones who say that they're perfect, they lying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just getting used to just being regular. Like just being regular is so much better than
Mm-hmm.
than than being whatever irregular is.
Right.
And
Just
I'm
better
saying
to
this
be
as
your
someone who
natural
does,
self than being put on a fake persona for.
yeah, like Royce 5'9" talk. He got on Lupe when they was on Talking Terms, and he had said, you talking about you want to be regular, but you do irregular shit. Like you're known for doing for doing irregular shit, and it's like, yeah, it's like, but really, what you want is people just to treat you like a regular person in their life. Um, Grass is always greener until you see how they treat everybody, and it can be shitty how they treat everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's always that, but like, yeah, just being comfortable, like you said, like with who you are as a person. Um, love what you do. Put realistic goals, but still shoot for the moon. Like we've gone to the moon, so we know that we can get to the moon. Um, so it's like, yeah, there's gonna be some stuff that you dream of that's like pioneering. So if you can think out the logic to it, then cool. Who am I to tell you you can't do it? Um, but like also like be practical. My cousin had to tell me when he's listening to me complain about like work and the economy and everything like that. He's like, well, so you did choose like the hardest careers. Like you work in multimedia design, you're an artist trying to be successful in the business without like signing a record label. So basically like on some Russell type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just like you ain't choose no regular stuff. And it was like, yeah, man, because that ain't where the money at. And he's just like, okay, so there's your answer. Like, like, what you want me to tell you? He's like, you can do what I'm doing, which is still honest work. He's like, well, you can do what you doing, which is still honest work in a dishonest industry. He's like, take your pick.
Right.
Um, yeah, I would say, and just don't try to cheat or cut corners. Um, because trying to get there in another way other than just the actual way, I feel like you lose a lot of stuff. You end up losing more time, even though you thought you taking this shortcut. But like it's like knowing keyboard shortcuts, but not knowing what the keyboard shortcut actually does,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it just it hinders you way too much. Um, you can hit the backspace button or you can just hit Control Z, right? But if you've been hitting Control Z all your life, then you don't even know what to delete, what to keep in. So
Right.
yeah, and watch YouTube videos, watch others. If someone else has done it, um, if they look like you, especially up here, they don't have to look like you and all of this, but if they look like you up here, um, then you know it can be done.
Right. Okay. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and sitting down with me and doing this
Oh
podcast.
shit, I got slapped.
Uh what what socials did you want people to follow you at? Like go ahead and let them know.
Um, Everybody can find my stuff at soulmanit.com. It has everything on there. If they want like the quick links, soulmanit.com/links. Um, you can find everything for music, from my YouTubes, uh, my vlogs, my blogs, all that good stuff.
Okay.
For
And yeah,
PUBG
y'all,
at Pubnanigans.
I'll put his he has 2 channels, right?
5. But
5. All right. Well, I'm gonna put the 2 that I know of. I'm gonna put them down in the description
that's
so
why I
y'all
said
can definitely
soulmanit.com.
y'all definitely go show him some love. Let's try to get him to at least 130 subs. He says he's at 120 right now. Let's just try to get at least 10 from our community.
I appreciate.
Also, I appreciate y'all tuning in and showing some love and support. Make sure you hit the like button if y'all enjoyed this podcast. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. And again, y'all, this is Soul Man IT. Show him some love. And I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you stopping in. And I appreciate your support, man. And I feel
Thank
like
you as
we've
well,
kind of
man.
developed a friendship, and I appreciate that as well. So
Yes, sir. Both of you and Av, man. Y'all like the old heads, the old wise 70-year-old cats in the space.
well, then why didn't you put Jeezy in there? He's the oldest.
No, man, he I don't know what he does. He reminds me of my pops, where he probably like showers in shea butter every day, right? And just just doesn't age.
Oh man, you just say that because he a fellow Pittsburgh, you know.
That's probably
Nah,
it.
that's probably it. But all right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next video or live stream. Peace.